Hello and welcome to another Witcher lore video. Today we're diving into the dark and mysterious world of forbidden magic in the Witcher universe. From necromancy to demonology, these powerful and dangerous arts are shunned and banned across the continent. But why are they so feared? What makes them so dangerous? In today's video we're gonna answer them, so without further ado, let's begin. Necromancy is the art of reviving dead people. Not in a sense as giving them a second chance in life, but to extract information, which is done in two ways. First, in The Witcher 2, we see the mage Desmond perform it with Geralt by his side, enabling him to look into the memories of the dead person and see what exactly happened through the eyes of the dead person. Whereas in Witcher 3, when Yennefer performs it, it's more of an interrogation. Yen asks Eskial the corpse questions and he answers them while he is in great pain. I'll get into details with both of the cases and explain how they did it, but before that let's talk about the necromancy in general. To understand the concept better, I first look into the books, but unfortunately it was only mentioned once in the Blood of Elves, and it didn't explain the ritual, only the fact that it is forbidden. In the books, when Rience hold Dandelion hostage, torturing him to get information about Ciri, Yennefer saves him and kills Rience's thugs. At the time, they had no idea who Rience or his men were, so Dandelion suggests Yennefer perform necromancy. The dialogue goes like this. Those men in the pigsty. I would like to know who they were, what they wanted, who sent them. You kill them both, but rumor has it that you can draw information even from the dead. Yennefer replies, and doesn't rumor also have it that necromancy is forbidden by edict of the chapter? Let it go, Dandelion. Those thugs probably didn't know much anyway. The one who escaped. He's another matter. So here Yennefer refuses to do necromancy, partially because the Brotherhood was still in place, and also the fact that she didn't believe they would know much. But in the games, the stakes were much higher and the time was of essence. Unlike the books, fortunately, the games get into the details about necromancy. In the book, Necromancy, the Forbidden Magic, we read, it is commonly said that magic is neither good nor evil, that it transcends the moral criteria of men, that it depends on the mage, whether it will be used for worthy goals or for shameful and immoral deeds. There is, however, one key exception to this principle: necromancy. Proponents of this branch of magic once supposed that one can also do good by reviving corpses. Dead men can, after all, hide secrets which may save the living. It is better to send an army of reanimated corpses into the battle than to squander the life of those in whose veins hot blood still flows. Moreover, a revived soldier may be reused many times, until such members are chopped off so as to make his flesh unusable. It is interesting because in the games we only see it used to extract information, and that has a great toll on the mage or sorceress casting it, to an extent that it can have fatal outcomes, if not used professionally. And all of that is just for reviving the corpse for only few minutes. Now imagine completely reviving not only one person but an army of people, to the extent that they can fight in wars. We don't know if they could actually do it or not, as we see how hard it is to revive a single person, and only for few minutes at that. We can't be sure, but even if possible, that would bring moral issues. You certainly wouldn't like to see your dead brother or father in a battlefield swinging his sword, or have them back only so that they can die again in the battle. This would have been so obscene that it would have certainly caused riots. Also, we don't know the extent of the revival, like dead soldiers who, if were revived, would they have actually be conscious or just walking zombies? From the point of view that you look at it only in numbers and data, a pure inhuman logic, you could see how their argument made sense, especially if those revived were not conscious. But in any case, it would be cruel and immoral to do so, and with grave consequences. The entry continues. Though it is hard to refute the logic of these arguments, the practice of necromancy is still forbidden. This is not at all based on the rabble's superstitions about the living dead, nor the resistance of the powerful, afraid those they have murdered could be forced to confess against them, nor the moral scruples of the older members of the conclave, who were in fact laughed down as reactionaries when it was discussed. The fate of necromancy was sealed by the observations of his name is hard to pronounce, and Gedemdith, which was later confirmed by manifold experiences, proving the revived dead are always unpredictable, and reviving them always involves entirely negative side effects. In other words, no matter how noble a mage's motives might be, necromancy will always lead to evil. It seems that in this way, the gods let us know that we should not transgress the laws they have given us, and even the conclave must respect the will of the gods. So the reason that it got forbidden was not due to morality, but experimenting with it and seeing unstable and bad results. The guy that performed these experiments was Hengedimdis, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing it correctly, also called Gerhard of Ale, which is much easier to pronounce. He was the oldest living mage in the books and had a lot of respect. Now that we know its history and why it was banned, let's take a close look at the two instances that it happened in the games. First, in The Witcher 2 by Desmond and Geralt.
Geralt of Rivia, ready for the ride of your life.
Can't handle this without me?
You're a mutant, like this killer. An ordinary man would never survive Han Marvin's blue dream.
You must drink a potion that will increase your heart's efficiency and strengthen your blood vessels. Hallucinogenic properties are also welcome, as they will enhance the vision.
Gadwall should do it. Necromancy's awfully fishy. What do you aim to do?
Han Marvin's blue dream is a spell that grants you a glimpse of a dead man's memories. You'll see, feel, and taste what the killer experienced in his life. As a mutant, the operation isn't at all dangerous for you.
I'm ready.
Wonderful. The blue dream can be very useful, although it only lets you see the killer's recent past.
Hope it's worth it.
Pay attention to every detail, places, names, everything.
Got it.
Let's begin! Vekina Zanzala!
I nearly got lost in that fog.
Look at it this way. Nobody will find us here.
Unless Henselt attacks Bergen despite the mist.
Hensel's not going to attack anyone ever again.
Always the optimist, Ox.
Here at last.
They're guarding the camp like it was a princess's chastity.
Did you learn anything?
The White Wolf has arrived at the Kedweni camp with Vernon Roach.
Looks like he's Henselt's lackey now.
I'd rather Henselt used others as...
Wake up! I'm dying to hear everything. What did you find out?
They're hiding in the ravines.
The other ones probably fled there.
Our dead man should have a key on him.
So here we get to know that necromancy has different spells. One of them is Han Marvin's Blue Dream, which in my opinion is like half necromancy, as you don't truly revive the dead, just pick through their memories without them coming back to life. And how it works is that the mage uses another person as proxy and then casts the spell, through which the proxy can see the recent memory of the deceased. Now, not everyone can be the proxy, because the process can kill them. Geralt could do it because he was a mutant, but even him had to drink a potion to prepare. And other limitations of this spell is that you can only see the recent past of the dead person, and I guess that's why Yennefer didn't use it on Eskial, as after Ciri left, he was cast off living outside of the village for some time until he decided to enter the garden. The interesting thing is that Han Marvin's Blue Dream doesn't seem to have a toll on the caster, as Desmond is as energetic as before the necromancy. And Geralt also didn't seem to have suffered, So 1 point for Marvin's Blue Dream. The other instance is when Yennefer used it in The Witcher 3, which is completely different.
Putrefaction set in, but the vocal cords are intact. We might still get something out of him.
Doesn't look like the talkative type.
Anyone can be made to talk, even a corpse. One must simply know how.
Thought necromancy was strictly forbidden.
So is premarital sex. But I'm not about to be bothered by such foolishness.
Need any ingredients for the spell?
The blood of a newborn, a virgin's tongue, and the eye of a newt.
Mind trying again without the sarcasm?
I don't need a thing. I'm a sorceress, not a village herbalist. All I need is energy. A great deal of energy. We're very lucky this place is saturated with magic.
It's also considered sacred. Priestesses will be furious if you use the garden's power to revive a corpse.
Geralt, you're getting on my nerves. I offer you solutions, you try to poke holes in them.
Selene, Selene, Defrain! Selene, Selene, Davidar!
Are you Craven of Lofoten?
No, I am
Be gone, I say!
Yen, are you alright?
I'm fine now. The spell. Imagine putting wriggling cockroaches in your mouth, or swimming in manure. That's more or less how it felt.
Could have shown some sympathy for the boy.
That was no boy, Geralt. It was a hunk of rotting, rancid flesh that spoke through my magic.
Didn't just speak. It howled in pain.
I know it seemed real, but it was no longer human. Do you understand?
So Yennefer actually revives the corpse because its vocal cords are intact, and it actually could talk. And as I mentioned before, Yennefer couldn't use Marvin's Blue Dream as Ciri was not in his recent memories. Unlike Desmond, Yennefer does not explain what spell does she use. Typical Yen. But we get to know that it required a lot of magical energy to the extent that it drew the life out of the sacred tree. Eskial came back to life, though not fully I guess, as he couldn't even move. He didn't have full control over his body, he could barely answer the questions with a great deal of pain. Eskial was certainly not happy, and the process was like a torture to him. At the end, Yennefer mentions, "It was just the rancid flesh speaking through my magic. I know it seemed real, but it was no longer human." Which is very interesting as Yennefer keeps referring to Eskial as it, not he. Which could imply that the soul of Eskial did not return to his body. It was just a corpse able to speak through Yennefer's magic, answering with brain memory. In other words, it was no longer Eskial. I think that's how necromancy works in the Witcher universe. You don't truly revive a person bringing them back to life. You only reanimate the corpse. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. And with that out of the way, let's move to the next part Goetia. But before we do that, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon for more deep dives in the fascinating lore of The Witcher. Fortunately, there is actually a whole discussion about it in the book Season of Storms. It reads, Goetia is prohibited because it's an extremely dangerous practice. Sadly, the simple evocation of demon doesn't demand great knowledge, nor great magical abilities. It's enough to possess a necromantic grimoire, and there are plenty of them on the black market. It is, however, difficult to control a demon once invoked, without knowledge or skill. A self-taught Goetic practitioner can think himself lucky if the invoked demon simply breaks away, frees itself and flees. Many of them end up torn to shreds. Thus, invoking a demon or any other creatures from elemental planes and paralementals was prohibited and had the threat of severe punishment imposed on it. There exists a system of control that guarantees the observance of the prohibition. So, Goetia is simply the art of summoning demons from other realms. And to do that, you don't need magical knowledge. It's simple, and almost anyone with basic knowledge and access to the formula can do it. And that's exactly why it is banned, because demons are unimaginably strong. Once summoned, they can destroy the person doing it, or even the whole place they are summoned to, causing great damage and death of many. So the trick is to contain them after summoning, and that is the part that needs a professional, and even that sometimes can go wrong, as the demon might just prove much more powerful than imagined. In the games, however, we see Olgierd do it rather masterfully. You can hate the guy, but one thing you can't deny is that when he puts his mind into something, he excels at it. He summoned 3 demons and bound them so masterfully that not only they posed no threat, but even after he left and Iris died, the demons couldn't break free from their bond. The caretaker kept doing what he did, and the cat and dog, although only focused on going back home to their own world, couldn't break free. The demons themselves are fascinating subjects, but I'll talk about them in other video dedicated to demons. And with that, this video comes to an end. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Have a good day, and goodbye.